Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's StepsBasic, and welcome back to my community show. So it's the end of the week again, back to Friday, and I am, for some odd reason, incredibly exhausted today. It's not like I've been, having this big old extravaganza parties and whatnot. No, it's just old man getting cold and tired, Anyway, this is rambling. Stop rambling. Welcome back to the community show. Don't have any real announcements other than, I'm intending to do Alan Wake after I finish Control. Got to get that done and out of the way. And, tried out Warframe today. Didn't really work how I wanted it to, which is unfortunate. I'm toying with the idea of going back to the PC version and seeing what I can do with that, but honestly, at this point, I'd just be rehashing old content and have to restart and everything. But, anyway, enough announcements. Let's move on with today's topic, which is, of course, the Video Game Awards of EGA. I didn't watch it because, I don't usually watch things like that. Not much of an award show type of guy. I've tried to get into it, but honestly, it just feels kind of shallow to me. But we saw a lot of notable things there. Like, I know Ghost of Tsushima won Best Art Director, and then I know freaking Last of Us 2 had a freaking clean sweep. They had a lot of awards there. But the one that really got me, the one that I was really excited about was Among Us winning Best Multiplayer. Because, this has been a hard year for a lot of people. And to see that game take an award like that for, oh my God. That game just brought so much happiness to everybody, And it's not just watching the folks, not just playing it, but watching the folks play it has been a pretty big highlight of my year. I know it's only been the last couple of months that it's been there, but it just breeds hilarious content, and it's been a fun game to play as well, And I'm just super happy for him. But, apart from all what was chosen by, big game tech and whatnot, I always have to give my 2 cents worth. Now, granted, you know how I do. I can't give awards to games I haven't played, so I cannot reward Ghost of Tsushima, even though it looks beautiful, because I haven't played it. I can't give any awards to The Last of Us 2, because I haven't played it. But what are my favorite games of the year? So I've played new release games, of course. I played Final Fantasy VII. I played Doom Eternal, which are 2 new games I played this year. I'm not sure if I played any other ones. Did Resident Evil 3 come out this year, or was that last year? But I'd say best game of the new year. I can't give it to Final Fantasy VII. As much as I love Final Fantasy VII, it's a remake, and I've always had an issue giving Game of the Year to any any remakes, mostly because of the fact that it just seems kind of cheap, especially since you're playing to me. Now, of course, I'm not gonna lie, I really liked Final Fantasy VII. It was a really good game, really a lot of fun to play. Didn't quite live up to Final Fantasy VII, the original version, but that I think mostly due in part to the fact that it was, not even the full game. They kind of lost points for that, and I know they're planning on releasing it episodically, but until it comes out completely, until it comes out completely, I can't give it any big recognition. But they did a lot of good with that game, and I really did have fun with it. And it took too far of a step away from the JRPG standards that I usually like, but it wasn't horrible. So I guess technically Doom Eternal takes game of the year for 2020, mostly based on the fact that that's the only new game I played for the new year that wasn't a remake. But if I were to go and expand that to what my favorite game this year was, the game that I played, of course, I have to give it, like, hands down, to Song of Horror. As like I played so many different games this year, Portal games and Aperture Tag, and I played. Oh, geez, man, I played so many games. Warframe, played so many indie games this year, and started Control, and had issues with. Oh, okay, that doesn't matter. Had issues with completing that game, but I'd say Song of Horror takes the championship here of best game I played this year, mostly because it was so well executed as far as what it was and how it played that I just can't. I mean, I can find fault with it. Don't get me wrong. I can find fault with anything. Give me hard enough, give me time enough, and I can find a fault with anything. But Song of Horror really captured what it was going for really well. And I can't say it's perfect, but it was definitely great for what it is, which is, horror game. And it incorporated jump scares, yes, and whatnot. As much as I usually dock points on jump scares, these were executed efficiently and carried with it a fairly decent ride into the game, So it's like watching a horror movie. You expect some little jump scares, but they also really did well on subtle horror. Things like just thump, 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 thump in the background. You come out of a door and you see in the back, near the light, you see a light shining on a person, a ghosty there, and you're like, oh, but as soon as you come around the corner, it's gone. So but your character doesn't know. And it's like, oh, that's chilling. And of course, like, there were numerous occasions when it's like I get close to something, I see a hand go like this, and like, oh, so well done. Mwah. And moving away from that, the fact that it's like every character I played as long as I played them for more than 2 minutes, I was like, I like this character. This character's great. And then they're dead. Now you stop liking characters, but that actually added another layer of, I want to say difficulty, but that's not the right word. But it added another layer to the game for sure. The fact that you get these set characters and they can die, so don't get too attached, but then you end up getting attached, and so it's like adding just another layer of connection to it. So yeah, definitely. Without saying game of the year for 2020, I can say that is the best game I played this year, even though it came out last year, and it was definitely awesome. Apart from that, I've been seeing a lot of growth this year, a lot of fun, expanding into different universes, different areas of gaming. I gotta say, man, I love video games, but I've been having issues with it because it's like trying to stay connected to the video game sphere has reminded me deeply of why I don't like to associate myself with fandoms. And seeing the controversy come up around The Last of Us 2 and everything this year has just been kind of a headache. And it's like, I like video games, but the drama attached to them, I guess like the drama attached to most anything, is just exhausting. And it's like, why just stop? But, in this long line of video gaming, it's just, I get to the point where it's like, I don't like to associate with this, the fandoms, as it were. And this year reminded me why. It's like, I loved Last of Us 1. I mean, it took my game of the decade, as it were, and it wins. But I haven't played the 2 yet, so as much as I'm looking forward to it, and that's coming soon because I do have the game. Hey, so that is coming soon. It's just gonna be a minute. has been kind of an annoyance. That is, I'd say, probably the biggest drama of 2020 regarding video games. Unless I'm forgetting something else that happened. I mean, well, if you can count all the stuff that happened with streamers, I mean, technically it's within the gaming sphere, but, again, why I don't associate with fandoms. But I call that drama. It's like criminal activity. But anyway, the high point of gaming is just been, seeing communities coming together, YouTubers collabing and whatnot with games like Phasmophobia and Among Us being two chief ones. And it's just been great seeing communities coming together to play. I know I just bashed fandoms and now I'm talking positively about communities, but it's different. It's different. Shut up. But it's been great to see them coming together around games like Among Us, especially like the Henry Stickmin collection came out this year. Oh, yeah, that's right. The Henry Stickmin collection. It didn't come out this year, obviously, but I played it this year, and it was such a fun little series, too. And, again, can't really give it any awards because it's kind of a remake, technically, even though the last one was new. All the other ones were Flash games before, but it was great to see that game get recognition. And, of course, the creators were the ones who made Among Us, and I'm sure Markiplier played a hand in getting that game to blow up, as it were, But it was just great to see all these different YouTubers. Like, I watched Markiplier, I watched Jacksepticeye, I watched Gab Smolders, John Wolf, Mr. Craven, Minx, and watching them all getting together and playing different games. Well, I mean, obviously, when you see Minx get together with Gab or Jack or Mark, but she played some games with Craven, and that was pretty cool. And seeing just this intermeshing between different content creators that I like around these games has just been the highlight of my year. And especially watching Corpse grow like he did, because I've been watching, or I should say, listening to Corpse and creepypasta stuff like that for years, and it's just great to see, like with Among Us, and seeing him interacting like that and seeing him grow. It's been awesome. So that was the low point. This was the high point, and yeah. Moving forward into 2021, I know there's a good number of things coming out that I'm looking forward to. PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S came out, and moving into the next console generation. It's funny to think about, because I've been around since '85, and I played, I want to say, every console generation, but I've actually never played any Xbox One's stuff. But I did play Xbox 360, Xbox. I played PlayStation, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. Played Sega all the way back to Nintendo and Super Nintendo and Atari stuff. And it's just been, it's been a long ride. Now I'm into a new console generation. And it's funny because I'm actually moving more towards PC content because, I've been working on that and had my capture card give out on me again. But it's been kind of neat, moving in different directions myself. And I am actually looking forward to getting the Xbox Series S, the digital version of the Xbox, as well as the PlayStation 5. But I'm the type of person who tends to wait when it comes to new, upgrades and whatnot to let them work out the bugs and stuff. Because, my PlayStation 4 in my living room is like first generation PlayStation 4, and it has problems with it that date back to all the way back to when I first got it. Like, it turns on by itself in the middle of the night, and I come back to a crash, and it's like, but I turned you off. And so stuff like that I try to avoid by not buying first gen of the new consoles. Even still, I'm looking at like a lot of the new games that are coming out, like I know Cyberpunk just released, and I've been wanting to play that for a while, just kind of see what it's like, what it's about, and it's coming out to a lot of bugs, which is funny because they've delayed it a few times, and I'm hearing even on PC it's experiencing latency issues and frames dropped and whatnot. But then again, people are talking about dropping from 60 to 40 frames, and I'm like, I wouldn't even notice the difference, to be honest. But anyway, so that was my video games in review for the year. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know if you had any, let me know what your favorite games of the year were. I'd definitely like to hear about that. And, yeah, I'm going to do a StepsBasic year in review pretty soon, which is going to be kind of a fun thing to just look back at how my channel has changed over the year. You know, the usual. But anyway, apart from all that, that's going to be it for me for today. Thank y'all so much for joining me for the StepsBasic Gaming Community Show. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you did, please go and poke that like button for me. If you'd like to see more from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And of course, as always, you're more than welcome to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Oh, and I can if I can. You know all that jazz. And tune in next time as we talk about something else at a different time. And until then, good night.